enough to lead short prayers?
Yes, please, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjan Shalakaya Chakshur Unmiltam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Vishnu Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Guru Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Shama Shriji Mataji, for leading the short prayers. Okay, so today, first we'll briefly look at the chapter 15. So let me see. I'll put everything here. They're gone. Interesting. Suddenly all of them disappeared. Okay, no worries. Okay, got them back now. Okay, so if you're in a position to read today, please raise your hand so that I can ask. Maybe we can begin with Shama Shriji Mataji. So chapter, yeah. So what we had done up until now is that we are looking at the dynasty of whom? Anybody remembers in the 5th canto? Whose dynasty we are looking at? Prabhu, don't ask too many names. It's Priyavrata Maharaja's dynasty. Yes, so in that dynasty, there appeared Agnidra. Agnidra's son was King Nabhi. Then Nabhi had a great son, Rushabdev. Rushabdev had 100 sons. Out of those 100 sons, Bharat Maharaj was the eldest and best devotee. And we looked at the life and the pastime of Bharat Maharaj in detail, how he became deer, and then after giving up the body of deer, he became Jada Bharat. Then we also looked at being a Jada Bharat, how he met King Rahugana, and what lessons he had imparted onto Rahugana, how been described so far. And this chapter 15 is basically further descendants in the line of King Priyavrata. So Maharaj Uttanapad had 2 sons. Who was that? Swayambhu Manu had 2 sons, King Uttanapad and Priyavrata. So Priyavrata decided to go to forest, and that's why Uttanapada took over the kingdom. And in the line of Uttanapada, we had seen various kings. The famous one was Dhruva, and then in that line also comes famous king like Prithu Maharaj was also comes in that line. When no further descendants exist to rule in the dynasty of Uttanapada, in the line of Dhruva Maharaj, then Priyavrata Maharaj took over the kingdom. And so now, these are the very famous personalities: Agnidra, and then Nabhi, after Nabhi, Rishabdev, then Bharat Maharaj were the famous personalities in this lineage of Priyavrata Maharaj. And so further descendants of King Priyavrata are given here. There are too many names. If I ask you to read, you would be a little bit overwhelmed. Huh? Basically, the son of Bharat Maharaj was known as Sumati, and so then from Sumati came Devatajit, like that. So it comes, it starts from Bharat Maharaj. Up until Bharat Maharaj, we discussed in detail. So Bharat Maharaj had 5 sons, and the eldest was Sumat, like that. So different names were given, but in that lineage, there comes a famous king called King Gaya. Hmm? So we will read about Gaya, only Gaya, right? Let me just bring it here. Yeah. So, okay, from 6 till 13, please. Shamashriji Mataji.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you very much. Text 6. In the womb of his wife, Rishikulya, King Bhuma begot a son named Udgita. From Udgita's wife, Devakulya, a son named Prasatava was born. Prastava begot a son named Vibhu through his wife. Nyusha, in the womb of his wife, Rati, Vibhu begot a son named Ritushena. Ritushena begot a son named Nakta in the womb of his wife named Akuti. Nakta's wife was Druti, and from her womb, the great king Gaya was born. Gaya was very famous and pious. He was the best of saintly kings. Lord Vishnu and his expansions, who are meant to protect the universe, are always situated in the transcendental mode of goodness, known as Vishusattva. Being the direct expansion of Lord Vishnu, King Gaya was also situated in the Vishusattva. Because of this, Maharaj Gaya was fully equipped with transcendental knowledge, and therefore he was called Mahapurusha. Text 7.
So here, just a quick one. Thank you, Mataji. So it is mentioned he was a direct expansion of Lord Vishnu. Just like Rishabdev was also expansion of Lord Vishnu, and we also have Prithu Maharaj, also an expansion of Lord Vishnu. But when they come here, they will also set an example as a devotee. So King Gaya is famous and is a direct expansion of the Lord. Yeah, please carry on.
Text 7. King Gaya gave full protection and security to the citizens so that their personal property would not be disturbed by undesirable elements. He also saw that there was sufficient food to feed all the citizens. This is called poshan. He would sometimes distribute gifts to the citizens to satisfy them. This is called prinana. He would sometimes call meetings and satisfy the citizens with sweet words. This is called upalalana. He would also give them good instruction on how to become first-class citizen. This is called anusashana. Such were the characteristics of King Gaya's royal order. Besides all this, King Gaya was a householder who strictly observed the rules and regulations of household life. He performed sacrifices and was an unalloyed pure devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He was called Mahapurusha because as a king he gave the citizens all facilities, and as a householder he executed all his duties, so that at the end he became a strict devotee of the Supreme Lord. As a devotee, he was always ready to give respect to other devotees and to engage in the devotional service of the Lord. This is the Bhakti Yoga process. Due to all these transcendental activities, King Gaya was always free from the bodily conception. He was full in Brahman realization, and consequently he was always jubilant. He did not experience material lamentation. Although he was perfect in all respect, he wasn't proud, nor was he anxious to rule the kingdom.
Yeah, so he was thank you, Mataji. He was an ideal king. uh, and not only an ideal king, ideal householder as well. Hmm. So he executed duty of a king and a duty of an householder. Hmm. And he became a full devotee, great devotee, bhakti yogi. Please carry on, Mataji.
Text 8. My dear King Parikshit, those who are learned scholars in the histories of the Puranas eulogize and glorify King Gaya with the following verses. Text 9. The great King Gaya used to perform all kinds of Vedic rituals. He was highly intelligent and expert in studying all the Vedic literatures. He maintained the religious principles and possessed all kinds of opulence. He was a leader among gentlemen and a servant of the devotees. He was a totally qualified plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, who could equal him in the performance of gigantic ritualistic ceremonies? Text 10. All the chaste and honest daughters of Maharaj Daksh, such as Shraddha, Maitri, and Daya, whose blessings were always effective, bathed Maharaj Gaya with sanctified water. Indeed, they were very satisfied with Maharaj Gaya. The planet Earth personified came as a cow, and as though she saw her calf, she delivered milk profusely when she saw all the good qualities of Maharaj Gaya. In other words, Maharaja Gaya was able to derive all benefits from the earth and thus satisfy the desires of his citizens. However, he personally had no desire. Text 11. Although King Gaya had no personal desire for sense gratification, all his desires were fulfilled by virtue of his performance of Vedic rituals. All the kings with whom Maharaj Gaya had to fight were forced to fight on religious principles. They were very satisfied with his fighting and they would present all kinds of gifts to him. Similarly, all the Brahmanas in his kingdom were very satisfied with King Gaya's munificent charities. Consequently, the Brahmanas contributed a sixth of their pious activities for King Gaya's benefit in the next life.
Yeah, usually king gets 1/6 of the piety of the subjects, and however, if the subjects are impious, he also takes 1/6 of their share. So king has to be, good. King has to be, so good, and he has to rule the citizens nicely. Otherwise, if they are impious, he can also takes their, impiety, 1/6 of their impiety.
Text 12. In Maharaja Gaya's sacrifices, there was a great supply of intoxicant known as soma. King Indra used to come and become intoxicated by drinking large quantities of somras. Also, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the Yagna Purusha, also came and personally accepted all sacrifices offered unto him with pure and firm devotion in the sacrificial arena.
Here it is mentioned that there is a unlimited supply of beverage called somaras. Devatas, they drink, but they get intoxicated. And usually, you don't lose your control like a normal beverage drinking alcohol. It is quite opposite. The effects of this beverage is quite opposite. So, and Indra used to come and drink. There is because this comes as a byproduct of the sacrifice when one is done. Sacrifice. Yeah, 13.
Text 13. When the Supreme Lord is pleased by person's action, automatically all the demigods, human beings, animals, birds, bees, creepers, trees, grass, and all other living entities, beginning with Lord Brahma, are pleased. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the super soul of everyone, and he is by nature fully pleased. Nonetheless, he came to the arena of Maharaj Gaya and said, I am fully pleased. Thank you.
Mataji. So this is the verse that I wanted to highlight today. When the Supreme Lord is pleased by person's actions, then there is a saying, Vedic aphorism, Yasmin tushte jagat tushte. Have you heard? Yasmin tushte jagat tushte. By pleasing him, you please everyone. Can you give an example where where Krishna where Krishna was satisfied, everybody else was satisfied?
Yeah, when Durvasa Muni.
Exactly. So yeah, please go ahead and narrate.
Well, Duryodhan made a plan to get the Pandavas into trouble. So he asked Durvasa to go and visit them after in the evening after Draupadi had already eaten. There was nothing in the Yakshapatra would be empty after Draupadi had eaten. So when Durvasa came, the Pandavas were very anxious how to please Durvasa, because otherwise he would have been very angry. But nevertheless, they said, welcomed him and said, yeah, they'll prepare something. Yudhishthira said they will, ask him for food, prasad. Durvasa Muni went to the river to have a bath. In the meantime, Draupadi was thinking, how am I going to feed everybody? Krishna comes.
How many disciples he brought?
1800 was it? I don't know, something like that.
1,000.
Somewhere it is said 10,000, somewhere it is said 60,000.
Right.
60,000 disciples. Yeah.
A lot of people, yeah.
We are struggling to feed 150 every Sunday.
Krishna had just one small grain, and everybody, all 10,000 disciples
everybody's
were satisfied.
tummy is full. Yeah, when Bhima was sent, they saw Bhima, and then they decided, oh, if we don't go, Maharaj, Yudhishthir must have made all the arrangements. So if we don't go, Bhima would kill us now. So they started running away from the lake. So Yasmin to stay, Jagat to stay. Here it's a wonderful verse. Please make a note of this. 5, 15, 13. Yeah. When the Supreme Lord is pleased by a person's action, automatically all the demigods, don't worry about demigods. Sometimes people wonder what happens. This also we observed in the story of Jadabharat, right? You remember these dacoits? They wanted to, sacrifice Jadabharat in front of Kali. You remember? And when they were about to cut off the head of Jadabharat in front of Kali, the deity burst open, and Mother Kali and along with our associates came out, and they protected Jadabharat, and they killed all the dacoits, and they drank the blood, the associates of Kali. So here, all the demigods are also pleased. Not only the demigods, human beings, animals, birds, bees, creepers, trees, grass, and all other living entities, beginning with Lord Brahma, are pleased. Whenever Maharaj Gaya performed, Lord Vishnu used to come, appear in the sacrificial arena, and used to tell him, oh, King Gaya, I am fully pleased with you. So this was the glory of King Gaya. And so for us also, simply we should try and please the Lord. And Lord's devotees. That's it, really. And there is no need to try all other methods. And from Gaya, there is another person, another king called Viraja came. And King Viraja became the jewel of the dynasty of King Priyavrata. He was a very, very, he possessed very high qualities. Like this chapter ends. Descendants of Priyavrata Maharaj. There were many names. If you ever want to name any of the child, open this chapter. So you'll find one good name. Okay, so now we'll move on to the description of Jambudvipa. It's actually a description because you can describe it in many ways. So from 16th chapter till the 26th chapter of the 5th canto talks about the structure of the universe. Okay, so first 3 verses, Anupama Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Where did you want me to start, Prabhuji?
First 3, please. First 3.
First 3.
We are now entering into chapter 16. We completed chapter 15. Okay. And now entered into chapter 16. It's called a description of Jambudvipa.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Text 1. King Parishit said to Shukadeva Goswami, O Brahmana, you have already informed me that the radius of Bhumandala extends as far as the sun spreads its light and heat, and as far as the moon and all the stars can be seen. My dear Lord, the rolling wheels of Maharaja Priyavrata's chariot created 7 ditches on which the 7 oceans came into existence. Because of these 7 oceans, Bhumandala is divided into 7 islands. You have given a very general description of their measurement, names, and characteristics. Now I wish to know of them in detail. Kindly fulfill my desire. When the mind is fixed upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his external features made of the material modes of nature, the gross universal form, it is brought to the platform of pure goodness. In that transcendental position, one can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, who in his subtler form is self-effulgent and beyond the modes of nature. O my Lord, please describe vividly how that form, which covers the entire universe, is perceived. The great Rishi Shukadeva Goswami said, My dear King, there is no limit to the expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's material nature. This material world is a transformation of the material qualities Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, and Tamoguna. Yet no one could possibly explain it perfectly, even in a lifetime as long as that of Brahma. No one in this material world is perfect, and an imperfect person could not describe this material universe accurately, even after continued speculation. O King, I shall nevertheless try to explain to you the principal regions such as Bhuloka with their names, forms, measurements, and various symptoms.
Thank you, Mataji. We'll stop there. We'll stop there.
Thank you.
So here, actually, in the beginning, first chapter of the 5th canto. So now we are in the 16th chapter. First chapter of 5th canto talked about King Priyavrata. We mentioned, right? When there were no descendants in the line of King Uttanapada, Priyavrata came back from the forest. He actually took 2 sannyas. He was meditating in the forest, but there was no ruler. So his father Manu and Brahma, so grandfather, father and grandfather, no, not Brahma, sorry, Narada Muni. Father is Swayambhu Manu and Narada Muni is spiritual master. They both went to the forest and said that you have to come back, O king. You must, O prince, you have to come back. There was no ruler. There is no ruler. Then Priyavrata Maharaj came back. And so when he came back to rule, then, in that chapter, first chapter of 5th canto, Shukadeva Goswami tells that how King Priyavrata basically followed the sun in the opposite direction, and then made 7 ditches in the Bhumandala. Bhumandala is the earthly plane. We will see. I will show the pictures in a minute. So he had created 7 ditches in that earthly plane called Bhumandala. And because of this, there appeared 7 oceans and 7 islands. So he left it like that. Shukadeva Goswami did not go into detail. He said, yes, there were 7 islands formed. Earlier, it used to be one portion. Bhumandala comes to be just one part. But Priyavrata Maharaj, somehow or other, he decided to, go in the opposite direction of sun's rotation, and using the 7 different chariot wheels, he created 7 ditches, huge ditches. That's how big the chariot was. And in each ditch, there filled some liquid. In one ditch, water, it contains salt water. In another one, sugar cane. In another one, milk. In another one, liquor. In another one, there is dahi, means yogurt, like that. So Maharaj Parikshit here is saying that, you just talked generally, but I wanted to know more about this one. I want to know in detail I want to know more details about this description, this Jambudvipa, and the various measurements, so that I can fix my mind onto the Supreme Lord, because it's his creation. And Shukadeva Goswami, he said that, there is no limit to the expansion of the Supreme Personality. Personality, God, its material energy. So there are countless universes in the Brahmanda. In this universe, there are, in Krishna's creation, there are countless universes. Within this universe, just, Bhumandala is a tiny portion. But however, it is difficult to fully describe it, because there is no limit for that description. No one in the material world is perfect. And we are imperfect persons. We will not be able to fully describe that. However, O King, I will try and explain to you. Like that. So if Shukadeva Goswami is saying like this, and what is our position? So let me show a couple of pictures. And let's see where I can share here. I will show so many pictures. So there, share, put slides. So this is where actually, Brahma also came, right? This is where Priyavrata Maharaj was meditating, and Narad Muni and Swayambhu Manu, Brahma, they all went and requested him to come back to enthrone and rule the kingdom. So Priyavrata Maharaj, and along with his chariot. This is a wheel. It just had one wheel. Every time you used a different wheel. So like that, he basically expanded as a second sun. So in the opposite direction, he was rotating, opposite to the sun. So if sun rotates clockwise, he used to do in the opposite wise, the anti-clockwise. Basically, he expanded himself as a sun, and with that expansion, he basically, circumambulated or rotated, and with another expansion, he ruled the kingdom. He did not, because when sun was in one portion, the another portion of the earth was not getting the sunlight. He did not like it. He wanted light throughout the day, so and night also. So that's Maharaj Priyavrata. So he created, like, if you take this is like, Bhumandala is like this. Different layers are there. So entire Bhumandala appears like that. And so this is how he created seven islands. Island in Sanskrit is called Dvipa. Dvi means two, Apa means water. The portion of land that drinks water from both sides is called Dvipa. So there are 7 islands you can see like this, and 7 oceans were also formed because of King Priyavrata. So this is another. I will talk about this. More details will come a little later. Okay, let's move on and then read further from text 5 till 10. So let's see who has raised. Jisha Mataji. Can't hear you.
Prabhuji, I can't see the text. I can just see the picture.
You can't see? Okay, just 1 second. Maybe I have to redo it. Any better?
Yeah, it's here now. Yes. Prabhuji, can you slightly bring it down, please, Prabhuji?
Sure. Text
yeah,
5.
that's fine, Prabhuji. Yes. The planetary system known as Bhumandala resembles a lotus flower, and its 7 islands resemble the whole of that flower. The length and breadth of the island known as Jambudvipa, which is situated in the middle of the whole, are 1 million yojanas, 8 million miles. Jambudvipa is round like the leaf of the lotus flower. In Jambudvipa, there are 9 divisions of land, each with a length of 9,000 yojanas, 72,000 miles. There are 8 mountains that mark the boundaries of these divisions and separate them nicely. Amidst these divisions or varshas is the varsha named Ilavrata, which is situated in the middle of the whole of the lotus. Within Ilavrata Varsha.
Sorry. Yeah.
Within Ilavrata Varsha in Sumeru mountain, which is made of gold. Sumeru mountain is like the pericarp of the lotus-like Bhumandala planetary system. The mountain's height is the same as the width of Jambudvipa, or in other words, 100,000 yojanas, which is 800,000 miles. Of that, 16,000 yojanas, 128,000 miles, are within the earth, and therefore the mountain's height above the earth is 84,000 yojanas, which is 672,000 miles. The mountain's width is 32,000 yojanas, and its summit and 16,000 yojanas at its base. Just north of Ilavrata Varsha and going further northward, one after another, are 3 mountains named Nila, Shweta, and Shringavan. These mark the borders of 3 varshas named Ramyaka, Hiranmaya, and Kuru, and separate them from one another. The width of these mountains is 2,000 yojanas, 16,000 miles. Lengthwise, they extend east and west to the reaches of the ocean of salt water. Going from south to north, the length of each mountain is 1/10 of that of the previous mountain, but the height of them all is the same. Similarly, south of Ilavrata Varsha, extending from east to west, are 3 great mountains named from north to south: Nishada, Hemakuda, and Himalaya. Each of them is 10,000 yojanas, 80,000 miles high. They mark the boundaries of 3 varshas named Harivarsha, Kimpurishavarsha, and Bharatavarsha, India. In the same way, west and east of Ilavrita are two great mountains named Malyavan and Gandhamadana respectively. These two mountains, which are 2000 yojanas high, extend as far as Nila mountain in the north and Nishada in the south. They indicate the borders of Ilavrita Varsha and also the Varshas known as Kedumala and Bhadrashva.
Thank you, Mataji. Right. Okay, so don't worry. We will make it extremely simple and easy for you all. Yeah. So now we said, can you see the PowerPoint? Please say yes or no.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so basically, if you see the description, entire Bhumandala resembles a lotus flower. So it looks like a lotus flower, and you can see that different layers are there. They resembles different islands, right? And this is two-dimensional. This is three-dimensional. So if you look at the two-dimension, it was just a single piece before Maharaj Priyavrat, but he divided into 7 portions as we discussed earlier. And in the center, so there are 7, how many islands? If it formed, 7 islands were formed. In the center, this one, I can show you here, maybe. Yeah. In the center of that lotus is called Jambudvipa. How many dvipas are there? 7 islands. Dvipa means island. So in the center one is called Jambudvipa. So we will be talking about only Jambudvipa today, and maybe tomorrow and next session as well. Okay? Are you with me so far? I hope so. Okay. So what is the description? We are talking about only the center portion. Center portion. And this center portion is surrounded by saltwater ocean, right? So there is earthly portion and there is ocean, right? And again there is earthly portion and there is ocean. So the center portion is Jambudvipa, you can see, right? So that Jambudvipa, we'll talk about it now. So Jambudvipa, okay. How big is the Jambudvipa? So you understood Jambudvipa is in the middle of the Bhumandala. So the dimensions are given, it is 100,000 yojanas, right? Anybody remember? About too many numbers. 100,000 yojanas. 1 yojana is how many miles?
8 miles, Prabhu.
8 miles. Excellent. So, and that means 100,000 yojanas means how many miles is that?
800,000. 800,000, Prabhuji.
So, yes, 800,000 miles. You can see that. Okay, so now you know the length of the Jambudvip is 100,000 yojanas. Where is this? The length and breadth of this island known as Jambudvipa is actually, I beg your pardon, 1 million yojanas. Yeah, it's not 100,000. Okay, 1 million yojanas. That means 8 million miles. So that is the length and breadth of the island known as Jambudvipa. And in Jambudvipa, again, there are 9 divisions. And this is called Varsha. Varsha is a tract of land between the 2 mountains, or one side water, another side mountain. That is called Varsha in Sanskrit, or a tract of land. So in Jambudvipa, there are 9 divisions of land, and with each is 9,000 yojanas. 9,000 yojanas. We will see that. Okay, so I'm now on PowerPoint. Are you able to see the PowerPoint?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, so. Yeah, so we are here. Then we come here. Yeah, so we don't want to go there directly. Yeah, in the center, let's talk about this anyway. So in the center of Jambudvipa, there is this Sumeru mountain, and the length of Sumeru mountain is how? Does anybody know? It's the same length of Jambudvipa. What is the length of Jambudvipa?
1 million.
It's 84,000 is the height of yojanas is the height of Sumeru.
Yes, actually, it's actually, yeah, 100,000 yojanas. And Jambudvipa is 1 million yojanas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's see this. Yes. Okay. Okay. So this is 1 million yojanas, the length of Jambudvipa. The height of Meru is 100,000 yojanas. Out of 100, 84,000 yojanas you can see above the Jambudvipa. It is exactly in the center of Jambudvipa, which is made up of gold. And it is like cone shape. Why it is cone shape? At the bottom, the width is 16,000 yojanas. And at the top, the width is 32,000.
32,000.
It's cone shape. 84,000 you see, and the 16,000 below the ground. You can't see that. 16,000 yojanas. That is exactly in the center of the Jambudvipa. And this is how it looks. Or this is another version you can see. And you can see these are different mountains, mountain ranges. And the land between the 2 mountains is called Varsha. So there are 9 divisions. Come here, we will take the 2-dimensional one. In the center, we said there is a Varsha called Ilavruta Varsha. And the dimensions are also given. It is a square exactly. 34,000 yojanas. Both sides, it's a square. So in that center of Ilavruta Varsha, you see Mount Meru, or sometimes it is called Sumeru or Meru. So this is Ilavruta Varsha. Why it is Ilavruta Varsha? Because it is separated by 2 mountains, Malyavan and Gandhamadana. And Ilavruta Varsha, on the eastern side of Ilavruta Varsha, there is a Varsha called Bhadrasva. This is also called Varsha because here you can see this is one side there is a mountain, the other side is saltwater ocean. The first ocean surrounding Jambudvipa is a saltwater ocean. So this is also Varsha. One side water, the other side mountain. And the western side of Ilavruta Varsha, we have Ketumala Varsha. Again, one side water, the other side is the Malyavan mountain. And the width of Malyavan are all these mountains. All the mountains you can see, they appear in gray. Is that gray? Yeah, brown, yes. 2,000 yojanas is the width of each mountain, 2,000 yojanas. And the height is at 10,000 yojanas. On the northern side of Ilavruta Varsha, you have Ramyaka Varsha, which is then followed by Iranmaya Varsha, then Kuru Varsha is the northernmost. And there are mountain ranges called Nila, Sveta, Shrungavan. To the southern side of the Ilavruta Varsha, you have 3 more Varshas. So northern side, 3 more Varshas. And then southern side, you have 3 more Varshas. Hari Varsha, Kimpurusha Varsha, then Bhadra Bharata Varsha. We are part of Bharata Varsha. And this Himalaya mountain is not our Himalayas. This is a different Himalayas. And what is the width of this mountain? Anybody remembers? 2,000 yojanas. So our Himalayas is definitely not 2,000 yojanas, right? 2,000 yojanas means, 16,000 miles width, 16,000 miles. Okay. Yeah, so this is the length you can see. This is 31,000 Ketumala Varsha. And Bhadrasva Varsha is another 31. 62. 62 plus 34, 96. 96, 2 is Malyavan, another 2 is Gandhamadana. 2 plus 2, 4. 96 plus 4 is 100.
100.
Okay, so so this is about the various Varshas. This whole Jambudvipa was ruled by Agnidra, the first son of King Priyavrata. And Agnidra had 9 sons. Priyavrata had many sons, but out of many, only 7 became rulers. The 7 Priyavrata sons became the rulers of 7 islands of the Bhumandala, 7 islands of Bhumandala. And the center island was given to Agnidra. Agnidra had 9 sons, and that's how these different names comes actually. Bhadrasva is one of the sons name. These Varshas are named after each son, right? Bharata was not a son. This Bharata Varsha you are seeing here, earlier it used to be called Nabhi Varsha because Nabhi was the son of Agnidra. And Nabhi, at the time of Nabhi, it was called Nabhi Varsha. And then after Nabhi, who was Nabhi's son? Rishabdev, yeah. So at the time of Rishabdev, it was called Ajnaba Varsha. Ajnaba Varsha means unborn son of Nabhi. And then Rishabdev's son was Bharat Maharaj. Since the time of Bharat Maharaj, it was known as Bharatavarsha. Right? Okay. Oh, that is, how does that sound so far?
Very
Right.
complicated, Prabhuji.
No. Just remember there are 9 divisions there, in that Jambudvipa. No need to memorize all these dimensions. Remember there is center island is Jambudvipa. Jambudvipa has 9 divisions, and in the center of that Jambudvipa you have Sumeru mountain. Right? Purnamada, you wanted to ask a question, or you raised your hand just like that?
Yes, Prabhuji. Is it okay if I ask a question now?
Yes.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Please.
So I'm intrigued. In all these varshas, the Kuru Varsha and the other the varshas that I mentioned, are the residents still residing there?
Yeah. Good question. Maybe I should tell another point also. That question, okay, we will go slowly. So I need not to complete the chapter. It's not important. Let me, make me explain something more. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So here you can see how many divisions are there in Jambudvipa?
9.
9, that we know. Apart from the 9th division, the southernmost division, Bharatavarsha, the 8 divisions of Jambudvipa are called Bhaumasvarga, earthly heaven. They won't become old like us. They won't have back pain like me. I am having back pain. They need not to wear spectacles. They need not to be bald like me. They're evergreen. I know. They will remain healthy until they die. But there is no no death in between. Like they live fixed number of years. Usually 10,000 years minimum they live. Apart from Bharatavarsha, the remaining 8 divisions are known as earthly heaven or Bhaumasvarga. People are there. We don't have access to it. Maharaj Parikshit, Maharaj Yudhishthir, they had been to Kimpurusha Varsha, Harivarsha at their time. They had access to it. We don't have access to it. And yeah, they and the remaining how many islands total in the Bhumandala consists of how many islands?
7, Prabhuji.
7. So we are talking the middle one. The remaining 6 islands also are called earthly heaven, Bhaumasvarga. Only this Bharatavarsha, which has been divided into again 9, I don't want to complicate now, that is called Karma Bhumi. Yes, only here exist the 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali Yuga. For rest of the 8 of this island and the remaining 6 islands, it's always which yuga for them? Treta Yuga. It was always Treta Yuga for them. So the people are there. It is said that, why am I getting this? Yeah, it is said that when one goes to heaven and around 10% of that piety is remaining, when 10% remaining, they are put into these earthly heavens. You see, Daksha Yajna pastime also happened there. Churning of milk ocean happened there. There is a milk ocean, you see. That is the milk ocean they used. So when the 10% is remaining, they are put into one of these 8 divisions of Jambudvipa and the remaining 6 divisions of Bhumandala. So they come there. And when the piety is remaining 1%, 1% piety left, with that 1%, they will then come to Bharatavarsha. They will come to Bharatavarsha. And so then they make, whether piety or impiety, it depends on them. But if they execute in bhakti, they can directly bypass and go back to Krishna. So yes, there are people living there. Yeah. Does it answer your question, Purna Mataji?
Yeah,
Are you
yes,
there?
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. I have more doubts, Prabhuji. If you could share the PowerPoints today, I would like to study, because I think I've lost you in between with children, coming and asking me things. So I think I'm now confused between the 9 and the 7, I think Bhumandala and the...
So 7 is the Bhumandala. See, initial Bhumandala has been divided into 7 divisions. And the center portion is called Jambudvipa. We are mainly focusing on Jambudvipa today.
Jambudvipa, yes.
The Jambudvipa has been divided into 9, say for example.
Okay, yes.
So
So it is like a jail, basically, those like those who are big aparadhis, they have done gross crimes and then they are sent to a jail. So Bharatvarsha is like, your piety is done, go get some piety, or or
from
face
here,
the punishment.
you make, you make piety or impiety, and then accordingly, this is where you do it. That's why it is called karma bhumi. So you can see here, there are 7. I can share this slide in the group. There are 7 islands of Bhumandala, 1 to 7, and you see that each island has got varshas. So you see the number 1 Jambudvipa has 9 varshas, and it is surrounded by saltwater ocean. And then you have next one is Plakshwadvipa, 7 varshas, like that. Only the last varsha, which is Pushkaradvipa, which has 7 varshas. Varsha is a tract of land between 2 mountains, or a mountain and a water body. Dvipa means the tract of land between the 2 water bodies. Dvi means 2, apa means water. The land that drinks water from both sides is called Dvipa. So I'll share that with you. I think maybe we will discuss that. We don't want to rush this. We will have to do it slowly. Bhuneshwar Mataji, do you want to add anything, or you have any comments?
No, Prabhuji, I don't have any comments. Thank you.
Yeah, so we thought we would complete this chapter. I've underestimated. When I was reading, I thought, oh, easy, if we show the picture. But basically, we have, then we will describe a little more about Ilavat. There are further details about that Ilavat. Few more mountains. And on the mountains, there are big trees. And on one of the mountains, there is a tree called Jambu tree. Does anybody know in Jambu fruit?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Jambu. Yeah.
Jambu.
Jamun,
I don't know.
Prabhuji, the purple one.
Jamun. Yes,
Jamun.
Jamun.
Yeah, the purple one. It's very tasty.
Jamun. Yeah. So there are several trees like that, but there is also a tree called Jambu tree. That's why some or other, maybe it is the biggest tree or whatever. That's why this island is known as Jambu Dweep. Okay, so I think I'll stop here. I don't want to, Yeah, so overwhelm you all with so many numbers. There are so many numbers, but you need not to remember also all these numbers, basic things we require. I started to remember now, although I've read many times, I don't remember all the numbers, but I remember, yes, there is center, this, Smeru mountain is
Buddhipa.
there. And yeah, so I also know the width of each mountain, because each mountain is 2,000 yojanas width, and each tract of land. Anybody remembers how wide is each division? 9,000 yojanas. Each one is 9,000 yojanas. Yes, Purna Mataji, you want to say something?
Yeah, sorry, Prabhuji, one more question. Maybe if you can't take it today, we can do it later on. I wanted to, a bit surprised or intrigued to know the qualities of somaras, because so far, it was only equated with alcohol. But I think you said something different, so
Yeah.
probably I need to clear my ignorance.
Yeah, if we drink somarasa, then we won't have any back pain at all.
We need that, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So our Somarasa is Srimad Bhagavatam is better than Somarasa. What is the third verse? Nigama kalpataror galitam palam shukamukatam ruta dravasam yutam pipata bhagavatam rasamalayam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavukaha. So we should drink this nectarian Srimad Bhagavatam, which is far, far better than Somras. And those who are expert, they will never stop drinking. They drink muhu raho. Muhu means repeatedly. Rasika. Those who are rasikas, they repeatedly drink Srimad Bhagavatam. Some or other, like, I only try to drink Bhagavatam on Thursday. But I should drink, only few hours. But we should drink every day. So Bhagavatam is, and why it tasted this drink is so tasty, because it emanated from the lotus mouth of Sri Shukadeva Goswami. You see that sometimes custard apple is bitten by a parrot, and people want that custard apple. I don't know. I'm from village. I know this. If it is bitten by a parrot, that is more tastier. I don't know how many of you have experienced. So similarly, it has come through the lotus mouth of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. Not only from Shukadeva Goswami, but our Acharya's mouth also it came out. After tasting Shukadeva Goswami, they tasted it. And because they tasted it, is even tastier. So we have to drink it like it every day. Maybe we can find out the qualities of Somras. I know that the demigods, all the devatas, they drink this beverage Somrasa. Maybe you can find out, you can do a little research and let me know the qualities of Somrasa.
Sure, Prabhuji, I'll try. I'm not sure if I'll get it from the authentic source.
Yeah. We can search. No, we can search the Veda base. It's easy. Veda base, there is a search button. And in the search button, just put Somrasa.
Yes. Okay, I'll check, Prabhuji, definitely.
Okay, so today we completed chapter 15, entitled Descendants of Priyavrata Maharaj. That chapter described basically the further descendants in the lineage of Priyavrata Maharaj, and there were many kings, but we talked about King Gaya, who was a direct expansion of the Supreme Lord, who was very, very dear to the Lord and great devotee. And then he entered into the description of Jambudvipa, and we just covered a little bit of background to it, and how Maharaj Priyavrata divided the Bhumandala into 7 divisions, and thereby created 7 oceans and 7 islands. And in the center, there is island known as Jambudvipa. And that Jambudvipa has been divided into 9 divisions. They are called Varshas, 9 Varshas. And in the center of that Jambudvipa, we have a Varsha named Ilavruta Varsha, which is in the square form, square shape. In that center of that Ilavruta Varsha, we have a Sumeru mountain, and the length is 100,000 yojanas. You can see 84,000 yojanas on top, and the remaining 16,000 be underground. At the bottom, 16,000 yojanas width, and at the top, 32,000. It's like cone shape. And there are 3 divisions southern side, as 3 divisions of this Ilavruta Varsha. Southern side, there are 3 divisions, and northern side, there are 3 divisions. Eastern side, 1 division. Western side, 1 division. So that way, we have 9 divisions altogether. And the southernmost division is the Bharata Varsha. And only Bharata Varsha is Karma Bhumi. And only in the Bharata Varsha, there exist 4 yugas. Whereas the 9 divisions of Jambudvipa and 6 islands, there will be always Treta Yuga, and it is called earthly heaven, Bhauma Swarga. They live minimum for 10,000 years without any disease or any issues. Okay, so we'll stop here, and we will continue our discussion next week. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, bolo Shri Radha Damodar Bhagavan ki jai, Yashoda Damodar Bhagavan ki jai, Kartika Maha Mahotsavam ki jai, jai Gaura Premanandi, Hari
Hari
Bol. Thank you,
Bol.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
So we'll be dreaming all the numbers tonight.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Hari.